With the economic stress going on right now due to the coronavirus, many Ugandans will have their jobs and earnings affected. Some already have, and the jobs lost are estimated in thousands. So can the budget and the accruing policy address this issue? And how can it? A business climate index published last month by the Economic Policy Research Center suggested that 4 million Ugandans could lose their jobs if the coronavirus pandemic persists for the next 6 months. And this will mean higher levels of poverty and income inequality.
The UN in around March actually indicated that by the end of 2020, about 156 million jobs will be lost globally.
Governments around the world are now planning around the new normal, and Uganda Finance Minister has a 15 trillion shillings package to unveil Thursday. Experts think this is an opportunity to neutralize the impact of COVID.
The stimulus package in many countries, including the United States, is like this. Government gives money to businesses who are employing people. The condition is if you terminate their employment within a period of, say, 6 months, the money they have given you turns into a loan. But if you complete the 6 months employing them, the money becomes a grant. Number one, you're keeping these people at least certain about what their future holds. Number two, you're putting money into circulation through a mechanism which is auditable.
Uganda has a high informal sector estimated at 50%, characterized by many SMEs, and 70% of the population below the age of 30, now at home not working and their future at risk.
Now my thinking would be start with where it is easiest, and that's usually the informal sector, because once the informal sector is running, the informal sector does not need so many employees and so much money to start small businesses. But as the small businesses begin, they will create demand because they are creating some incomes for those low income people who will begin to demand other aggregated stuff, and then you will be able to revive the rest of the economy.
It's possible that jobs can be saved. However, we need to also think, what are these jobs and what are the sectors that are really being saved by the government? It's agriculture and manufacturing.
Dr. Fred Muhumuza, an economic expert, says government should salvage the economy through small and medium enterprises.
The bigger businesses, some of them have not entirely closed, but they leverage the small businesses because they are the ones that buy their off-takes, their inputs. You can't be there as a nice house of plastics. You're producing pens, you're producing plastics, but who actually takes them from you to the communities? It is this small person with a small shop in Kamocha, in Atete, in Guru, in Soroti. How do you make sure those fellows restart their businesses? But also who buys from these individuals? And that's why the advantage Uganda has is you are an agricultural country. So as soon as people harvest and keep selling the agricultural produce, they will get back into the system.
We see that even if agriculture sector employs about 70% of the workers, there are 80% of them, 8 out of 10 of these organizations are saying that they plan to cut jobs by 25%. And this is really because of reasons beyond their control. One, they fail to get inputs for them to plant in time, or they can't even add value because they probably haven't planned in the past. So even if the government has these initiatives in place, how long is this going to work? Because granted, it's a COVID budget, we're trying to recover as an economy, but how much time does it take for you to plant and harvest?
Government has made 11 proposals to provide liquidity for businesses affected by the lockdown, and they include, among others, delaying corporation and presumptive taxes for April to June, waiver of interest on tax arrears, deferring pay as you earn until September, and capitalization of Uganda Development Corporation. But can this save the jobs? So
jobs or no jobs, I think these taxes and policies have to go across the board. And I think government has to work with other sectors that actually support the key sectors like agriculture and manufacturing. Look at the business development services, the technology sectors, let them work with those people to actually put in place very favorable policies.
According to Dr. Muhumuza, government agencies could be another agent to sink business the more.
I think we need to avoid adding more disruptions to the disruption Corona has already brought, like the registration of taxis. Don't come and say whoever is not registered, not on the road. It's a reform we have always wanted to do. This is not the time to do it. This is the time to allow whoever can rise up as you clean them up. You meet a police officer who is now telling you your tires on your car are worn out. They may be worn out and you need to replace them. But if they still need a month, it's a time to give a warning.
In April, Civil Society Advocacy Group advised on refocusing the budget to mitigate effects of COVID-19 and support food security, jobs and wealth creation. In CS-BAG analysis, if government eliminated wasteful expenditure and a blueprint in enforcing austerity measures, it could revive the economy and save the country about 10% of the national budget. As to whether government will heed this call, it will be seen in what it delivers on Thursday. Edward Muhumuza, NTV Tonight.